different sections of the Sharp Report have done over time. And so we'll look at whatever sports kind of we want, right? We got NBA tonight, we got NFL on Sunday, and obviously college football tomorrow, and a massive slate. I don't know, Schwami, if you've looked at our college football slate tomorrow. It's kind of doo-doo. A little bit of doo-doo. It's not very good.
Yeah, I'm heavy into NBA and NFL right now, so you're the college football expert for us today. So yeah.
Well, I'll take that. That's all right. But let's go ahead and let's go to the Proptimizer, shall we? Shall we start there?
Yeah. I just edited for somehow I only had it on Twitch, so now we're on Perfect. X and YouTube, so we are everywhere, and I see people hopping on now. So
love that.
Cool. All right, so guys, it looks like we have a nice little underdog promo today. So we decided we'll go ahead and go through the Proptimizer for pick six. I just have to pull up my underdog account, and we will go through and kind of, I think, look at that and our Sharp 2.0 Proptimizer and make some picks, probably some NBA for tonight. And
let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I thought I had one. I don't know. Let me pull up the Sharp 2.0, and maybe you can go through it while I try to find it again on Underdog here.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds awesome.
Let's see.
So if you're new around here, right, Sharp has revamped its web design, not only its UI, but the tools that are within it. So as you can see on the kind of the left side of your screen there, we now have 9 separate Proptimizers with 4 more Proptimizers coming, right? And once we do full release on the 2.0, once we're out of the beta, we're going to move into the true Sharp 2.0, where the price is going to go up. I will say, shameless plug, right? But there will be over 12 different Proptimizers. So no matter what pick'em site you use, you are going to be able to find the best value, right? And so from sports books like Underdog or FanDuel and DraftKings to Circa and BetMGM, you have your top props Proptimizer. Then you have your different sites like Underdog, which we're going to go through today, all the way to Sleeper, Hot Streak, Parlay Play, right? So really, no matter what pick'em site you use, we have a Proptimizer for that, right? And obviously, we won't go over this today, but at the same time, you have your odds screens, right? Where in real time, you can see spreads going up and down in the NBA tonight. And then you also have calculators, which we'll be able to go over at some point as well. But today, right now, let's go ahead and focus kind of on the Underdog Proptimizer.
Yep.
Schwami, it looks like we got Jackson Hayes, huh?
What's that?
It looks like we got Jackson Hayes, huh? Take it.
Yeah, we got Jackson Hayes. I played him the other night. By the way, guys, we do have just like Mitch said, we do have a Sharp free Discord, and we are putting out free plays as well there. So if you aren't a member, I just put a link in our comments section for you to go ahead and get over to our Sharp free Discord, so that you can just go ahead and build your bankroll. That's my new spiel, is we'll help you build your bankroll so that you can become a subscriber, right?
There you go.
But yeah, let's go ahead and go through the Proptimizer tonight. Jackson Hayes, he's kind of one of those, second team guys that it can be a little bit volatile. It looks like we got some of the logs loaded now, which is nice, but
yes,
yeah, which is pretty awesome here. So again, we are in beta though. So, please let us know if you are a Sharp Pro subscriber, because, and the other spiel on that is that we do have it at a discount for a little bit longer while we're in beta mode. So you guys can, go ahead and look at my bio or Mitch's and get a discount, or send us a DM. But But yeah, let's go ahead and pull this up. So I like Siakam a little bit more than I do.
I agree.
Yeah, right. Just because he's
Yeah.
going to be on the floor more. But we're taking a look at a couple things here. As I've said before, I like Green. I'm not too picky as far as what I think. Mitch is a little bit more picky as far as
Little
what
picky.
the percentages are. I just, sometimes I feel like there's a play that's at 54% that's in the green that might look good to me. And if it looks good, I'm gonna take it. So, but I definitely don't go below anything that, like down here, this
Mhm.
area, I stay away from. So Siakam here looks pretty good to me. So one of the things that I do is I take a little bit of extra time while I'm looking, and I go to sleeper. I pull up, just Pascal Siakam. I take a look and I see what his last couple games were against, New Orleans, for example, and I see like what his assists look like, and if we're and that's kind of one of the ways I look at it to line up a little bit of my own research. So the last game he had 3 and then he had 5. The last couple games he had 3 and 5 assists. So one yes, one no. And with the NBA, it can be pretty tough, and that's definitely why you want a optimizer like this, because they're there's a lot of games in the NBA, right? So they're pretty sharp lines. So you're talking about a very small amount. And that's why I think the Proptimizer is so good, because it does give you an edge. So, I don't know if I would probably keep taking a look here. He's definitely a maybe, you know, uh, Gabe Vincent. Let's see here. He is, I think, yeah. Uh, he's again one of those like second guys, I believe, on the
Mhm.
Lakers, right?
Yep.
Um, he's not in the starting lineup, but he's in that second line basically, and under 1.5 here. So what I want to see is I want to see this in the green, and then I want to see the sports book projection and the sharp app projection lining up. So I like everything to at least line up, right? So this is showing us that the odds on underdog are showing at about minus 203. So pretty heavy juice if you're paying that on a sports book. The consensus is at minus 245. So that's the consensus on the books as well as, underdog. So minus 245. So you're getting a little bit of a discount basically
Yeah.
with underdog, right? So that's why we do play the pick'em games, is because a lot of times you don't have to pay the juice, or you're paying less juice, right? And then the sportsbook projection is 1.2, and then sharp app projection is the SA projection
Look at
is
that.
1.13. So, this looks pretty good, Gabe Vincent. But, for me, I don't.
It's a super volatile stat, right?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, if any of you watch NBA games, like a player can luck into 2 rebounds like nothing, right? You can have 5, when the Lakers are giving Bronny James Make-A-Wish minutes, right? He can figure out like how to rebound a basketball 2 times, right? Like it's just volatile, especially at that number at 1.5. That's tough.
right. Right. And a guard, I have a lot of reservation when I'm picking a rebound stat for a guard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's even more volatile, So then we have KCP over rebounds. And just like I said, I'm not huge on guards and rebounds. And then we have Ben Simmons somehow still in the NBA, over 4.5 assists here. And he has basically every other game hit this number. So last 5, I don't know if it shows the last 10. It looks like we're just getting the last 5 right now on the beta. But 62% chance odds to hit there. So we do have that. We're projecting him over one higher. So I do like that number there, right?
That's really good.
That is really good. So,
And
and
on the
that,
season, he's averaging 5, right? So that line is kind of in line with what we've seen, and he does start, right? He does start for the Nets, so he's getting anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes a game. I don't mind that play. I don't love Ben Simmons, but I don't mind
yeah,
that play, especially against the Bulls, who like really struggle against guard play,
okay.
right?
So yeah,
And
we
if
can
that's
put
where they
him
put
in.
him, right?
Yeah, and he can't shoot, right? So
Well, no, he can't shoot. He can't
there you
shoot.
go. He's
He can't shoot.
definitely looking to pass. So for some reason, and it might be there is a $10 discount or something, but it's only on the app for me. So we're just gonna play this normal, which is fine. So one of the things I always say is you want to, either do 2 or 3 picks on underdog. If it's nerfed like this, which means that it's pretty heavy juice and they're kind of taking it less than one, less than a full multiplier, then I generally like to play 3 if possible. So that's just my thing. And one of the things, because I do the show kind of each night as well, doing a lot of these pick'ems, is we love discounts and we ask for discounts and everything, but as we can see here, underdog has been heavy on discounts, and now all of a sudden all of these lines that weren't nerfed before are getting nerfed. So
Mm.
they're giving out free money, but now kind of on the back end we're paying for it a little bit. So we just got to be cognizant of that when we're asking for discounts. That's all, right? I'm just being real. So let's go back to the Proptimizer. So we got Ben Simmons, we like, and then I'm not a fan. And this might be a personal thing, but I have a problem taking unders on goats and somebody like a 3-time MVP is a goat, right? And I used to take the over on his assists, and that's just me. I know I'm happy taking an under, seriously, but I just think that, he's such a good passer. And for me, what are your thoughts on
Yeah,
Jokic
I mean,
under?
the problem with Jokic is that he can put a triple-double at night, right? And especially the way that the Nuggets are playing, they need him to put up a triple-double every night because the rest of the team is not good right now. Like, now I will say though,
Good
they
point.
do have a tough matchup tonight, right? They're playing the Timberwolves, and
Yeah,
which is a good defensive team. But Jokic shows out in these moments. You know what I mean? He just has in the past, and
he does.
um, I would stay away from this. I don't think that. I mean, even though that I see value there, like and obviously the projection is about a point or an assist under where the book is, or where underdog is putting it.
Hmm.
I'm good. I'll pass on that one. Um,
Okay.
that's just
Yeah.
not really for me.
Yeah, and it was the playoffs, but if we look at the last regular season, well, the last regular season games, he was under on assists. The last 3 games, he was at 7 or less. But the
Mm,
playoffs, he was over 4 times out of 6. So I think I would stay away because it is just,
yeah,
I feel like it's a toss up, and I
I
want to
agree.
get a little bit more of an edge personally.
I agree.
So keep looking here.
Yep.
Anthony Edwards under 5.5, and he's been balling, right? So I could potentially go for a play like this, and it lines up with the
Yep.
numbers the last few games. I mean, he's
Yep.
been draining threes. I think his 3 game has really stepped up too.
Yeah. He is not looking to pass the ball right now.
Right, and he shouldn't. He really shouldn't. So I think he kind of has stepped into superstardom last, with the
Yep.
playoffs, and then coming this and playing on the Olympics, and then, beginning of this year, he's done really well. So
Well, and they need him. Like the Timberwolves are not anything special right now, you know. I mean, he is playing like a superstar, but Julius Randle, I think, has had a tough like integration. Rudy Gobert is not not an offensive weapon, right?
that's a great point.
But
Yeah.
like, you know, to me, I don't know. I would need to like look a little bit heavier into it, but I think that this is a play that I would follow for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So those are our first two. So if we get one more, let's see if we can get one more and see what our multiplier comes out to be. Let's see here. Looks
And
like we
two,
got some
like
more
I'll
people
just to
hopping on here.
like one more second on that one. Like
Yeah.
the addition of Julius Randle is not the most prolific scorer, but he is an elite passer as a big man, right? And so, you know, he takes those opportunities between him and like Mike Conley. Um, I don't see many opportunities that I mean, Anthony Edwards is chucking up 20 shots a game, right? Like, so I love that play. I think 5.5 is too high, and we're seeing it at the books. Most books have it at 4.5, right? So to me, that's an automatic like boom. There's value there, so I love it. I love it.
Nice. So we're in agreement there.
Yep.
Next play, I kind of skipped over Jaden McDaniels. That was just kind of a rebound,
Yep.
like just a low rebound prop that we were talking about. So DFS under 9.5 points. They don't really have a lot of scores, it seems like, on
Nope.
Brooklyn, but it looks like he has been under this as well here for the first few games. So I know Cam Thomas, obviously, he's going to chuck it up.
Yep.
The line at most books is we got 8.5 at Bally. And then BD, I believe, is Bodog 9.5. 8.5 looks like it just changed to minus 121, which is pretty cool. As you guys can see here, this is updating in real time, and then it kind of shows you in red or green what the odds change is. So it's pretty cool stuff we got going on here with
That's really cool.
yeah. And so we got a mix between 8.5 and 8.5 and 9.5 here, but it seems like a lot of the 9.5 is juiced to the under, right? So not bad here. I mean, it's something that I would be interested in taking, but as we see here, it looks pretty tight, right? With the sharp
That's
out
what
projection.
deterred me a little bit.
Looking at it, yeah. And like I said, they kind of need him to score. There's
Yeah, I
no
mean,
Ben Simmons isn't scoring, right? Like we talked
between
about.
between Cam Thomas and Dennis Schroeder, right? Schroeder having, I
Mhm.
mean, MV Schroeder right now, like dude's putting up like 30 a game right now, but like I don't I see it as a little more volatile than maybe the other two that we've put together.
Yeah,
I
I
think that
agree.
there's something else that we can find.
Okay. Uh, and as you guys can see, this updates in real time, so
Yep.
players will go up, go down. So we got Capella here with the over on rebounds, over 7.5. We're projecting them at 9.5. Sportsbooks at about 8.5 here, and looks like the last five here. He's been over one time. Who was it that's hurt? DeAndre Hunter, I believe, just was injured the other day, so I don't
Yeah,
remember what his injury is, but I imagine that he is out, right?
I think so. Let me double check on
DeAndre
that really quick.
Hunter set to miss fourth consecutive game. Yep.
There you go.
So he is out. So, that's probably, potential, but I know Okongwu has been in there as well. So I'm not in love with the play myself. I'd like
No,
to
and you
see.
got to keep in mind that anytime that you are facing the Kings, you gotta think about Sabonis. right?
Yeah.
Because he grabs 12 plus per night, right? And so that's a lot of opportunities taken away from opposing big men, right? So I would pass too,
Yeah,
personally.
Capella's older, his minutes, they still gotta keep him healthy too,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, he's
So
actually averaging under, like, I think he's under 25 minutes a game. Like, that's a lot of rebounds to get in 25 minutes.
right, right. Now this one I might be able to get on board with. Let's take a look at Brunson, who
Mhm.
has not been Brunts him. He's just been
Mhm.
Bumpson this year, has he? Bumpson, or I don't know. But
I saw where you're
Brunson,
going. I saw the
yeah,
vision. I
yeah.
did. I saw it.
So under 7.5 assists. I mean, he was over the other night against Miami, okay, but looks like we're getting some pretty good value here. Most are
Mhm.
a lot of them are at 6.5. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's against Detroit. I mean, Tibbs isn't necessarily gonna put anybody on the bench, even if they're winning, right?
Yeah.
But it is, against a team that's not going to really probably keep up with them. So, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, there's two thoughts. Obviously he has not been, like, great, so I wonder if he pivots to being more of a distributor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, who is he distributing to? I don't know, right? Like, Cat obviously is great, but Josh Hart's not going to be chucking up shots, right? Like, so I'm a little, like, indifferent about it. Something interesting too that I just want to point out, and we don't have to
Yeah.
actually go back to it, but Rudy Gobert rebounds just shot up the Proptimizer.
Did they?
Um,
Okay.
it just did. Yep. So um, his maybe the line got dropped
Oh, right here.
to from 11 and a half to 10 and a half.
Mm.
But in real time,
Mm.
the Proptimizer just changed, right? It just found value in this new line that has been, kind of put out. So maybe that's something that we can look into. I mean, and they are
Yeah.
facing the Nuggets, right? So we talked about kind of the volatility of Jokic in there and possibly grabbing rebounds. But I just wanted to point that out. We don't have to spend a ton of time on it if you don't find value in it. But
No,
just
I'm
something cool.
definitely want to look at it here and just pull up his last few while we're talking. Let's see his last few against the Nuggets. Um, I don't love looking at the playoffs, but he was over that in every game except for one except for two. So 4 out of 6 in the playoffs. And then let's take a look at regular season. It's tough, a little bit tough here because you had Cat and not Julius Randle, but
Yep.
that's kind of all we can go off of anyway. So I don't know about the regular season. I'm trying to look here. Let's see. He had 15 again in Denver, the last game against them. So I mean, I like it. 10 and a
Yeah.
half for Rudy. I really like it.
I like it
Yeah.
better than the Brunson play,
Yeah.
personally. I
Yeah.
think that, to me, I would have a little bit more confidence in that play than if we were going to go Brunson, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And
I mean,
if
especially if
we're
you look at the
missing,
books, like,
yeah, go ahead.
there are some books that have 11 and a half at even money, or at minus 110, right? Like, that's an indication. I mean, some of them are lower, some of them are higher, right? But to me, that's an indication that we might have some value there. And
Yeah,
he's
and
he's
feel
projected
free
at 12,
if
right?
we're missing something, guys, or you feel like to chime in the comments,
Yes, as
but
always.
yeah, as always. So, we'll get to like questions and things like that at the end, but yeah, it looks good to me. I mean, they're not on a back to back or anything either. I was just looking at that.
Yeah, no,
So yeah, I say we roll with that, and then we
let's do
can
it.
get into the sharp report.
Lock it
Um,
in.
yeah, let's lock
Lock
it
it
in
in.
before this one gets bumped because I like it.
People
So
over previous weeks have asked me what's in here. It's just coffee, I promise. There's nothing else in here. I know I've heard the speculation. I've been chirped at. It's just coffee. I promise.
Just
Nothing
coffee.
weird in here.
Just coffee. All right. So it's not the greatest multiplier we got going on here. So I don't know what you guys want to do. If you want to keep going, because I would like to at least get 5, which is going to
Okay.
be prize picks. I would like to get the people a little bit better play than that if we
For
can.
sure. If we want to go one more, let's do it.
Yeah, we can go one more, or we potentially switch out Simmons.
Or switch out. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go see if anything popped up ahead of this. No. So we'll keep going. And we didn't like Brunson. We got a couple of Timberwolves already. We got Drew Holiday. That's not lining up there. So we'll skip over that. Skip over Monk with the rebounds. Not going to play 2 players on the same team with assists. No. Uncertain on Zach LaVine tonight. So player points for THJ here. This.
I was looking at that one too.
Okay. So
the juice isn't great on it, but I mean, every book has it at 11.5 pretty much, besides I think BetMGM, or ESPN Bet too. But ESPN Bet is juiced way up. I mean, I like this a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, and again, we're talking about what the team needs, so they need him to shoot the ball, and it looks like they need him to shoot threes and stuff and to score. So so we can put Tim Hardaway in and see what our multiplier comes out with here.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. Cool. So roll over here, Hardaway, and yeah, so that's what we're looking at. We're looking at value on the book. So we got a nice straight multiplier, not nerfed at all. So let's see if we take out Ben Simmons. If we can get over 5, I'm good with it, because at prize picks, you're going to get just 5. Over here, we're getting a little bit more. And what did that? Yeah, so we're getting just over 5. I'd rather go with the 3 pick than the 4 pick, right? So let's lock it in, guys. So just go over it real quick, and then we'll get into the Sharp report. So we got right off the Proptimizer, Sharp 2.0 beta, Anthony Edwards under 5.5 assists, Rudy Gobert higher than 10.5 rebounds, and then Tim Hardaway Jr. over 10.5 points. So hopefully we'll cash this and post it in the free Discord for you guys as a win. Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's hop on over, guys, to the Sharp report. We'll take a look at that and go over the Sharp report for tonight and this weekend.
I love it. Right. So, kind of while we're pulling this up, if you're new, right, the Sharp report is a tool where Sharp Pro Plus subscribers get 3 times a day. And essentially what it is it is a report that details what the books need to happen, where the squares are, and to me, most importantly, where our sharp bettors are. So Coach Anthony gets this report sent to him a couple times a day, right? And it is based in an offshore book, right? So our sharps are people that have had notoriously great betting prowess, right? They have shown that they profit really, really often. And they are bettors that we can kind of put our faith in, not blindly, because you always want to do your research, right? But something that we can put our faith in, that if you are looking for just, I never, ever, ever encourage this, but if you are looking for, like, I just want plays, I would rather you use our tools to do the research, but to each their own, right? We all bet in our own way, right? And so to me, the best column, right, is obviously the sharps. That's the one that we want to tail or follow, right, because of their history. And in the Sharp 2.0 beta screen, you can actually see something called the tracker, right? So you can actually go back and look at how the Sharps have done in every single sport that they bet on, right? And so if we're just focusing in here on the NFL, right, which is on the screen right now, the Sharps actually have a number of plays, and here's what the colors mean. If a play is in blue, right, on the left side of your screen, if the play is in blue, that means there are 3 or more Sharps on that play, right? That means that 3 sharp bettors have aligned on that play. Okay. If it's in orange, that means that the play is tonight, right? So you see below at the mega sharps, which is 4 or more sharps on a play. New Orleans, right? The Pelicans are facing the Pacers tonight. A bunch of sharps like the under on that play. In fact, it's actually moved down at most books to 231 now at this point. So it's moved about 3 points on that total already. But
Yeah, you have Alvarado starting, right? So
yep,
yeah,
exactly. And I think that definitely has a contribution to, right? The Pelicans are switching things up a little bit, and the Sharps
injury.
like
Yeah.
the total on the under
Mhm.
there. Red means 2. Okay, so there's 2 sharp bettors, and black means 1. If it's crossed out, that means that a sharp came in on the other side, right? So, for example, Kansas City, who is New Orleans? Who's New Orleans playing this week? I forget. Why is my brain
Is it
cracking up?
Carolina?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. So there were 4 bettors on New Orleans minus 5.5, right? Someone, a sharp in the same kind of pool that we've looked at, bet on Carolina, right? So that is no longer a sharp play. Now, you can use this however you want. I know plenty of people within our sharp community, the thousands of people that use the sharp report every day. They don't care if it gets crossed off or not. I do. That's just my personal preference, but I know that there are some people that play it no matter what, right? And so, that's just one way to kind of use this report, is to tail the sharps, right? And then, like I explained, underneath is the mega sharp plays, where you'll see 4 or more sharps. That middle category where you see Tennessee misspelled, I'll have to tell Anthony that, but it doesn't matter. But those are the sportsbook liabilities, right? So we want to play the opposite of those plays. Okay. Now, often you will see kind of what you're seeing here, where Tennessee is a book liability, right? That means that the book needs Tennessee to win in order to really, really profit, right? So we want to fade those plays. We want to play the opposite of those plays, right? So that would mean playing New England. But New England is a square position, right? Actually, I've looked at the numbers. It is one of the top square positions of the year so far this season is New England. A lot of bettors think that Tennessee should not be favored by 3. I think Mason Rudolph is starting. I don't know about their running back room. I can't remember if someone is injured or not. I can't remember if Tony Pollard or Tajay Spears are injured.
Spears has been injured.
I know
So
he's been injured. I've just seen a lot on their third string, like a bunch of cappers trying to be hot and quick with it and bet their backup running back, but
gotcha.
I don't know. And so those are square positions. Now, there's a lot of people in our industry that are going to tell you to fade the squares. You don't have to. Like, just because you're betting a square bet does not mean that it's not going to hit, right? If you saw Trent, the biggest, one of the biggest cappers, one of the biggest sports bettors in the world on this website, he had a really positive October, right? And like that's based on, I mean, he is kind of the dictionary definition of a square, right? But like it happens, right? And so that's that third column. That's that right column, is the square bets. My favorite thing to do is to fade that middle column. Okay, to play the opposite of that middle column. I found that in the NFL, it's very profitable. Last week was the first week, I think, all season. I could be wrong on that. That it profited. It's one of the past 2 weeks that it actually profited. But for the most part, it does not profit, right? And so we want to make sure that we are fading those positions, to me, even if it's a square play.
So
Okay.
fading the book basically is what
Yep.
you're okay.
Yep, I like to fade the book. So like I think that it's one of the most profitable betting strategies. Now the only problem with that is that you're going to be playing square bets, right? Because oftentimes if the books like have a liability in one place, that means there's a lot of money on the opposite, which means that it's probably a square play, like we're seeing up top in the NBA, right? Where Charlotte is plus 10.5. Who is Charlotte playing? Boston. Boston is a square play, right? And so, personally, I like Boston tonight, but obviously, who knows with that big of a spread, right? And then there's 2 more sections of the sharp report. If you could scroll down just a
Yep.
little bit more. So the last 2 sections are the whale. The whale is a bettor that has massive amounts of bankroll, right? As you can see, he puts about $35,000 on every single play that he plays. He's a very low volume bettor. As you can see tonight, he's got $100,000 on the line. What a life that would be, huh?
And I
What a
think he
life
had a
that would
rough
be.
October.
He did have a rough
That
October.
happens.
I
Yeah.
know people. I mean, people were chirping him in our Sharp Discord, calling him the minnow. I think that
Yeah,
we should
I saw
definitely
that.
let that catch on.
Yeah.
That he is the minnow. But tonight, obviously, he's on 3 plays, including San Diego State in college football. Who's playing Boise State? I actually like Boise in that game. The spread is too big for me. I got destroyed on Western Kentucky minus 24 this week with a late touchdown by whoever, or Kennesaw State. That was tough. Too big of a spread for me. But the whale is just a massive bettor, and he is profitable. He is. He's had a really rough October, but he is the biggest bettor at the book. And then finally are the model best values. Those are plays that Coach Anthony puts out his NBA model, his NFL model, his college football model. And those are the plays that have the most value. So about anywhere from 10% value all the way up to 25 or 30% value on those plays. And so obviously tonight, his model lights the Celtics under just like the whale. So definitely something to look at, right? If we're talking about different plays that you could do. Celtics under looks like it's a really nice play tonight. And then obviously the Bulls plus 1.5 against the Nets. That we have kind of talked about throughout the evening tonight. So I guess what we can do is open the floor, right, and see what questions do y'all have about the Sharp report, how to use it, what are different ways that I've found it profitable. If you do have any questions, we can, obviously answer them over the next 20 minutes or so. But Schwami, how do you use the Sharp report, or how would you advise someone to use the Sharp report?
Yeah, so how I use it a lot more sparingly just because of time constraints. As you can see by my shirt here, I'm big into props. So I'm heavily, researching props for the most part. But, when I start to see like kind of like the Proptimizer, like I was showing you guys, like when I start to see things line up and I see like a mega sharp play and it's a whale play and then it's a model play, like when I start to see those and I start to look at things and things are lining up and there's some serious, sharp money and it all lines up with the model, then I start to look at those kind of plays. So that's just because I don't have as much time to research it, but I am more and more these days, taking a look at, I'll look at it daily. I'll look at the updates and the NFL, and so, but that's really how I kind of use it for the most part here. So
Yeah,
I
and
like to make a sharp plays, when there's
while
full
everyone is like,
yeah.
thinking of their questions, or what plays we like for tonight in the NBA or in the NFL this weekend or in college football, like we can absolutely talk about that. But the sharps, kind of like who are these sharps? Why do we follow them? Right. It, the sharps have a unique relationship with the book, right? Where the 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 sharps are going to profit, and the book knows that, right? That is something that they go into this fully well knowing, that the sharps are going to profit. What happens though is the book puts out their opening lines, right? And then sharps see those lines, and they obviously have their own models, right? And in their own ways to spot value that are highly profitable, and they hammer plays, right? So for example, the book opened New Orleans and the Pacers this evening at that 234 number, right? The sharps saw that and pounced on it, right? We know at least 4 sharps have pounced on it at that number, at that 234 number, right? And so the book, when they see these sharps pouncing on this number, they say, whoa, 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 whoa. There's clearly like something wrong with the line that we put out. And so they move it down. And then if sharp money comes in on it again, they move it down. And if sharp money comes in on it again, they move it down, right? And all of a sudden, where the sharps got this line at 234 with a lot of value, all of a sudden the line's at 231. Is there still that value there? Well, sharps have stopped betting on it, right? And then the market has shifted to kind of stay at that number, right? So all of a sudden, there's no value on that play anymore, right? Now, that being said, for any of you that have ever bet on an NBA total, you have been burned. It's a rite of passage, right? Where you bet one line and it finishes half a point under or half a point over or whatever, right?
Yeah, I was just burned on the Warriors the other day.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Tough.
That was, yeah. So were you, I think, right? That was your
Yeah. Oh,
play
you're
too,
right. I
the
was.
under.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, if you bet on New Orleans right now, and like that's a line that the sharps are really in tune with, and a line that they like, and we've seen that they like. I still find value in betting those lines, right? um it's just the way that I do. And I don't think that you need to be turned away from the line moving that much. Are you gonna be burned on it sometimes? Yes, you are. And that's all right, right? But like, I mean, DraftKings has this line. DraftKings, which is obviously one of the most public um, betting sites in the world, like it has it at 230. That's it's a crazy drop, right? And so it's just whatever way that you guys want to use it. It's whatever way that you guys want to use this awesome tool that we have. But then sometimes you're going to get a good line, right? And in a line that's very comparable to the way that the sharps have been betting.
Yeah, and
For
if it
sure.
goes the other way, you may want to take a step back, and a lot of times we'll then see it to be crossed off is because there's a sharp on the other side that is putting some money on it. So there may be a reason to pause if you see something crossed off, or if you see the line going the other way, right? So that's just something to think about with this as well. But I've mentioned before also that when the line does move, what we do see a lot of times is that the number will still work, like
Yeah.
Mitch said, and I've seen members say that for the most part, we're still good because we're not going to get the number at 234 once we see this, right? We're just
Nope.
not, for the most
No,
part.
the best available line in that game right now is 232.
Yeah, and I would still take it at that if I'm personally.
100%. Like at
Yeah,
Circa, it's still at 232. Um, it has not moved that much at Circa, and you can get that line at like ESPN Bet, right? Oh, it's like Fanatics actually has it at 233 still, which is really, really good. But at your more public books, those are going to be pretty low, right? Like the line has dropped quite a bit, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. So let us know, guys, if you have any questions, comments. I see, we got a good amount of people here, so
Yep.
let us know if you have questions on the Sharp report. If you
Or any plays tonight, right?
any
Like
plays tonight, anything you
tonight
want to look at.
or this weekend in the NFL. Like let's do a deep dive, right? There's a lot of you here. What are you guys playing this weekend? And always, plugging, if you're not in our Sharp Discord, like it is the place to be. I mean, we've got thousands. I mean, the number, there's almost,
I'll show you guys how.
a number of people that join every single day. I watch that screen just go up and down and up and down and up and down, like at how many people are added every single day. Um, and there's places for you guys to put your plays. There's places for you guys to access our free plays, right? I know Schwami posts a million free plays every single day, no matter what site you use.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, Boom Fantasy. We got Vivid Picks. They're one of the newer ones that are growing and putting out promos. So, I always make sure to get those on there for you guys that are building your bankroll. Last night, we had a better play that I put out in the free section. It was Alperin Sengun. I also had this in the pro section just as a single prop. Over 27.5 points and rebounds was just way too low. So he hit that almost in the first half. And Madness had prize picks that one. I put out a play for the underdog promo and picked Aaron Rodgers. That one hit. And then we also had a Vivid Picks discount for Garrett Wilson that hit for us. So and then Mitch had his play, which was OKC, and that one
did hit.
hit,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
so yeah, I mean, this is just a regular day for us, guys. Like seriously, because we're using the tools, and we are, we're not some, like 200. We don't have like a 200 IQ. I don't, at least. Like I'm just, I do the best I can, but I definitely need tools for this stuff, and that's what we love sports and watch and research and use the tools, and that's how we win, consistently. So that's what and we're a community of people that help each other out and help each other make these plays. We sweat them out together and
Yeah.
have a good time, win or lose. But, overall, we are tracked, and we are, as a coaching staff, up well over 600 units. So pretty significant stuff. And, I think at least you'll be able to see by just joining and getting in our free Discord. So, yeah.
I'm doing some quick math. I mean, as a coaching like cohort over the last 30 days, we're up about 50 units. Like that's and that's if you take every single coach's play, you would be up 50 units over the last 30 days. Like that's pretty damn good, you know. And that's every sport too, right? Like no matter what sports you like to bet on, there is a home for you. Like with our plays, and obviously most of those come with a Sharp Pro subscription. But I'll tell you too, and I told someone this earlier today in DMs, like with Schwami's code, with my code, it's down to $80, right? So if you think about that, right? If you are even a $10 better, and I know a lot of you are above that, but let's set the bar here, right? Let's say you're a $10 better. You need to go up 8 units in order to start profiting, right? If you subscribed to Sharp Pro over the last 30 days, you would be up 42 units and the Sharp subscription, right? Like in addition to all the other different tools that we offer, right? Where you can take other members' plays, you can take you know, like the sharps, right? Tail the sharps or fade the book or use the money handles, which are one of
Mhm.
my favorite tools that we can talk about. And
AI.
AI, right? There are some in there that are so dedicated to our Sharp AI, which is like surprisingly. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen other AIs like as far as other sites, but I think that ours is by far the most accurate. And obviously any AI is going to be, here or there, but like there are so many different tools for you to use. And so if you ever just want to try it, hop into our Sharp Discord, right? DM one of the coaches, not the imposters, one of the coaches,
Yeah.
not the imposters. Um, and we can give you that code, right? Get your $20 off. It's $20 for life every single month. The price is going to raise here in a few weeks when the Sharp beta fully ends and Sharp 2.0 opens, right? So if you want to be grandfathered in at this price, you got to get in on it now, right? And that's just something like just try it. I promise you, just try it. Like you are going to see the benefits, or wait until you get paid, right? It's Friday. Y'all should have got paid yesterday. Is the end of the month. Today's
Right.
Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, or take the free picks and build
Or
that
take the free.
bankroll, and then
Yep.
you can join, right? So, but
Yep.
the key for us is we're not just a Discord, right? There's a lot of Discords out there that are just giving you picks, and that's not what we do. We're giving you the tools, we're giving you the coaching, we're helping you build your bankroll, we're helping you with learning the tools so that you can make your own plays, and when they line up with the Sharp report, when they line up with the handles and AI and 60 sports books that we have, that's the best. And we help you to hopefully become a profitable better. That's our job, because if you're profitable, we're profitable, right? It's kind of what the difference is at Sharp, is we're not just somebody just giving you plays, so, and all of our stuff is tracked as well.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Which I think is a really important piece, right? Like you guys all have access to the Coach Bets tracker, right? Do you guys have any experience or opinions with offshore books? So I don't, but I know a lot of people that do, and maybe Swami, if you've ever used any of the offshores, like I know a lot of
yeah.
people that really like them,
Hmm.
and they've found some success with them. But Swami, have you used offshore or
Yeah,
anything
I've
like that?
used like Bovada. I have Bovada is the main one, but we have people that use Bet Online.
Yep.
There's different offshore ones, and haven't had any issues. You have to kind of deposit in crypto and Bitcoin
Yep.
for the most part, which isn't too hard to do, but that's the only thing there. And then a lot of times they don't have an app either, so you have to do it on an actual like website, so
Well, look, you pull up the website, you pull up Sharp 2.0 right next to it. I mean, it's a match made in heaven. And
right.
I'll say this too, like on our odds screen in Sharp 2.0, like we have all of those odds as well, right? They're in code, but we do have them.
Yeah, so I can show you, like on the Proptimizer, we have Well, just on the odds markets, I guess, but
Yeah.
oops. Where am I going?
Yeah, I think it's the second one. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here. There we go.
There you go.
So yeah, as you can see, we have all kinds of books, right? This is Bet Online, Bovada, Circa. So all of these are offshore, right? Bodog, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, I don't always use this is the beta version, and I've used the Poptimizer, but you can see it's showing you what's updated recently, and yeah, a ton of people use offshore books. So
yeah, we have one of our coaches exclusively uses Bet Online. That's kind of his deal. Yeah, we're looking to have a good weekend. Any other questions, kind of as we close up for the day? Thank you guys for being here. Y'all are the best. You're always the best.
yeah,
What
appreciate it.
questions about either tonight's NBA, NFL? We can take them before we kind of log out here.
Yeah, and I don't know if we mentioned, but I think Mitch did, but you can get 2 months free, and it's not just
Yep.
Prize Picks, it's Sleeper and Underdog too. So if you're not a member, or if you don't have a account with any of those three, you can basically deposit in there with one of our codes, and then you'll get a full deposit match, 100 on Prize Picks, 1,000 on Sleeper, Underdog, and we'll send you a code for 2 free months. So Sharp 2.0. Not bad.
That's literally a $200 value. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy.
Insane.
That's crazy.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap up. But did you have
Yep.
anything?
No, I was just gonna say, if y'all want to follow, get on in the Discord, and we're gonna be talking all weekend. NBA tonight, obviously college football tomorrow, NFL on Sunday. I'm ready to rock and roll this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. You asked a question in the pro only Discord tab. Well, yeah, we'll go take a look at that. I don't know if we have time right now. We can
Yeah, what I'll
see
do is
here.
I'll respond to that in like 2 seconds. I see it
Cool.
right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Xavier. Thanks, everybody. And if you have any, always send me a DM or something if you have any questions. So good stream. All right.
Cool. Thanks,
See you guys.
everyone.